What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Mezco 112 Collective Summer Exclusive Street Edition Gomez. And this figure was available at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was also available at their website, but then it sold out in both places, so it's going to be kind of hard to get this guy going forward, which is going to be crazy because I feel like a lot of people are going to want to buy multiples of this because there's so much that you could do with this figure. But anyways, let's get into it, starting with the box. It's very simple. You got the Mezco logo right there. It says Street Edition here in like a little speech bubble, but it's in black, so it's kind of hard to see. And then over here it says Mezco Exclusive. On the side it says Gomez. On the back it's the same picture that we saw on the Agent Gomez figure. And yeah, that's it. Very simple, very straightforward. I like the size of this box compared to other Mezco boxes. This is nice and small and compact, easy to store, so really good stuff, and it is collector friendly. So that's enough about the box. Let's take a look at the figure. Okay, so here he is, Gomez, right out of the box. And I'm going to admit that at first when they revealed this guy, I wasn't that excited about it. I thought it looked like a really good figure. It looked like a lot of fun, a bunch of cool accessories, but it was announced as the summer aka Comic-Con exclusive. And for Comic-Con, I want comic book based characters, you know, not a company mascot. But still, I picked it up when I was at the show because I was in line and I was picking up Moon Knight, which I felt like I had to have right away. So I grabbed Gomez too, and I'm so happy that I did because as soon as I took this figure out of the box, I was blown away. It's so much fun. There's a lot of good stuff going on. All the clothing material is very well done, and he's just very impressive right out of the box. So anyways, let's get into it here. So starting off with the face sculpt, we have seen this face sculpt before on the Agent Gomez, and you know, like I said before, it's a very well done looking face sculpt. There's a lot of nice details. You got some paint details in there. I love the way that the pink eyes look. I think that's very visually striking, and I like the contrast of the colors. It looks awesome. And then down in here, we have the green jacket that looks incredible. It's very well done. There are some loose threads on mine, but nothing too crazy. We have these here that are just fake pockets, but that's okay. Yeah, look at the stitching on here. It looks really nice. And there's a zipper. You got to be very careful with the zipper because I did pull this piece off because I tried to zip it up too high and too fast, and it just came right off. But I was able to get it back on, and it hasn't been a problem. Here on the side we have another, you know, fake pocket or patch or something. And then down in here into the jeans. Look at these jeans, man. These look super nice. These are probably nicer than any pair of jeans that I own. But yeah, these came out really good. And then you have the shoes. I think it's the same exact type of shoes as the Agent Gomez, so that looks really good. And then on the inside here you have the Mezco logo. On the bottom we have some Mezco engraving or whatever you want to say on the bottom of the shoe. But yeah, this all looks really nice. So let's open up this jacket and take a look. You have to be very careful with these tiny little Mezco zippers, but they do work, so that's cool. And this jacket's obviously removable because he comes with a bunch of other stuff. There we go. It took some time, but we got it. But yeah, check out the shirt under the jacket. It's like a nice striped shirt that looks good. And the jacket really doesn't have any problems at all coming off. You're able to just slip it right off. And the shirt under there is a long sleeve shirt. And there we have him without his jacket. And this striped shirt looks really good too. And it looks like if you wanted to, you could probably take this shirt off all the way. I'm not going to do that, but let's lift this up just to check out the sculpting work on the abs themselves. And look at that. He's all buff. Crazy looking. This Gomez figure is almost worth buying just for parts because you have shirts, you have guns, you have extra jackets, all kinds of good stuff going on. So really cool. And then the neck is sculpted in the same texture and design and style as the head, so that matches each other. I do wish that they came with an interchangeable flesh colored neck. I think that would be a great move because then you could throw on a bunch of other heads on there. You know, I know that's not something they would ever do, but I think that would be an amazing idea because then you could use Street Gomez as like a civilian or whatever, and then, you know, people would want to buy multiple. Even like this, I want to buy multiple. But anyways, yeah, it's a really good looking figure, and like I said, I was blown away by it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention was the belt here. It's much like all the other Mezco belts, where it's a plastic piece kind of just being held onto the pants with little strings. It's not like an actual belt that loops through, but still it works and it looks good. So yeah, overall it's a really good looking figure, and it's very impressive as soon as you pick it up and start messing with it. And Gomez comes with a crazy amount of accessories. What you see here is not even everything that he has, so it's going to be a long process to go through all of these things, so please be patient. I'll try to get through them as fast as I can, but let's get it started with the hands. First off, he has a set of fists. And then he also has a set of wide open hands. And then next he has a set of gun gripping hands. And then he has a set of tight gripping hands that he could use to hold on to his sword. And then he has a set of pointing fingers. The right side is just a single index finger pointing, and the left side is 2 fingers pointing. And then he comes with another set of gripping hands that could be used to hold on to his rifle. And then for his left side, he has a bigger gripping hand that you could use to hold on to the big canister that he comes with. And then his final hand just for his left side is him sticking up his middle finger. Gomez does come with 4 different head sculpts, but they're basically the same heads that came with the Agent Gomez figure. They're just different colors. I would have liked to have seen them include some other kind of head in there, maybe like some type of ape head or like a reptilian head or just something, you know. They throw a bunch of cool things in there, and it would have been cool if they threw like some different heads, you know, just to make it like we could have more characters in this weird Mezco Gomez verse, you know. That would have been awesome. But anyways, here's the first head, which is the Gomez head with pink eyes instead of black like we had on the first release. And I think this head sculpt is really nice. I like all the details and stuff. We have the antenna up here that are opposable and they could get out of the way. They actually have some pretty good range. They move around a lot. But I love the way the pink eyes look. That looks awesome. I don't know if I like it as much as the original one, but still, I think they do look pretty cool. And I really like the contrast between the normal clothes and this weird bizarre head with the pink eyes. I think it looks really cool. And then next up we have this head sculpt, and I'm not a huge fan of this one. I mean, it's okay, but I'll probably never pop this back onto this body again, you know. It's just my least favorite out of the bunch. It's very well sculpted and things like that, and I do like the colors or whatever, but you know, just in general, I'm just not that into it. I think with Agent Gomez, this head was my least favorite too. So that was bound to be the case here. And next up we have this crazy thing, and I like this a lot. With the Agent Gomez figure, we just got a black skull, which was really cool too, but I really like this pink. I like how it clashes a lot with the normal look of the clothing, you know. Everything looks like something a regular human would wear, and then you throw this crazy looking pink skull on there, and it just looks really nice. The sculpting work is very well done on it too. I feel like the teeth could have been a little bit better because it feels like some of the front teeth look a little smooth. But yeah, other than that, I think the sculpt work is really great on here. I love all the paint, and I just especially like the color. It just looks so weird and bizarre, and it's very eye-catching on this normal looking body, so it's really nice. And the same thing could be said for this thing. I love the colors on this head. It looks awesome against this normal body, and this is just a really cool head sculpt. I liked it the first time around too on the original Gomez, but I think I like it better in green. I do wish that it came with an interchangeable neck so it would match this head. But, you know, just as is, I think it looks awesome. Check that out. The sculpting work on this thing is amazing. And I just love the bright green and yellow colors on it. It just looks like it would make for a really cool villain for Gomez. I mean, that might be the case already. I haven't read that one Gomez comic that Mezco put out, but I would like to. It just didn't come with any of the versions of Gomez that I purchased. But yeah, I don't know if this is a villain. Let me know if you've read the comic. Is this guy a villain to Gomez? Does he have any villains? What's the deal? But yeah, this guy looks amazing, and I just love this green head sculpt. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the accessories that he comes with, starting off with these little canister grenade things. And these things are really cool. I especially like the skull design on the front here with the teeth and the eyes. That's really cool, and I love the colors too. We have some greens and some like purplish pinks down here, some blue, and just some really nice sculpt and paint work on this thing. These are very, very nice, and they're very unique, you know, so I really like those a lot. And then next up we have this noisy cricket type of gun. It kind of reminds me of that little tiny gun from Men in Black, but this thing is cool. This time around they chose to give us like an American flag type of paint scheme, and I think that's pretty awesome because then it matches their new muzzle flare effects, and I think that all looks really cool together. And this is a muzzle flare effect that we've seen a bunch of times with Mezco figures, so I like the fact that they changed it up a little bit, and it looks really cool and very different and unique, so that is awesome. And same thing could be said for this muzzle flare effect. You know, we've seen it before, but it looks awesome in these new colors. And then next up we have the blade, and this thing is very nice too, and it's just a repaint of something that we've seen before, which is fine, you know. And they did make it different enough to make it interesting because I really like this green blade. It's very eye-catching when the figure's holding it, and it looks different from like your traditional silver or even black blade, so that's dope. And then he does come with this sword sheath, and you could just stick the sword right in there without any problems. And this thing looks very nice. It has an actual strap on it, and it does have like a little buckle that you can unbuckle. Look at that. Oops, give me 1 second. There we go. Comes apart like that, and then you could refasten it, so that is awesome. And then he comes with this signature Gomez rifle, and this thing is just incredible. No other company out there has been willing to get as detailed with their weapons as Mezco. Just check this thing out. The detail on this thing is crazy. It looks amazing, but the thing that makes this stand apart from other companies out there is the fact that you could fully disassemble it. Look at that. You could take that piece off, take the magazine out, then you got the bullet in there. You could take the scope off. And what's cool is when you take all these little pieces off, you could almost turn it into different types of guns. You know, you could have some kind of weird futuristic handgun. You could leave this piece on, take the barrel off, and then you have some kind of shotgun. If you want, you know, you could kind of get creative with it. And like I said, this the end piece here, the barrel and the silencer come right out. And then it does come with like another little silencer, which pretty much this was the only place that I was able to find to put it into. It doesn't, this piece doesn't come off, so it doesn't go here. So it just seems like you could put it on different places in the gun. But anyways, how cool is that? You know, that's so awesome that they do that. And then next up, we have this really cool looking boombox that's like a pink metallic color. It looks very nice and it goes with the figure very well. Has a little sticker on it that says sex squirrels. And it just looks cool. It reminds me of like a old school boombox that someone might have in the 80s, and that reminds me of 80s hip hop. So I'm always into the boomboxes that Mezco includes with their Gomez figures. This thing is awesome. And I really like this pink color, or this purple metallic weird color. It's really cool. Then it has a handle that comes up. And then of course you could pop this open. Bam. And you have a place to store his weapons. And he actually comes with two different foam pieces, so you could change it up and store different weapons inside of the boombox. So that is really cool that they give options. And yeah, this thing is just really cool and different, and it's a very fun accessory. And it does come with some stickers if you want to stick them on there. And these stickers are cool. It's like various things that we've seen before, like this little guy we've seen Mezco give out pins of that, and just other stuff in there, you know. Nothing too crazy. I believe it's pretty much the same stickers that we saw on the Agent Gomez, so nothing crazy exciting. I really wish they would have threw in like a Wu-Tang inspired like Mezco logo. That would have been so dope. But nope. Once again, they just kind of give us the same stuff. But it's okay. It all looks cool, and it allows you to customize your boom boxes a little bit, so that's really cool. And then it came with this, and I'm not really sure where it goes, but it is a sticker. As you could see, you could peel that off and stick it somewhere. I don't think it could go on the boom box because, I mean, maybe. I guess it would fit, but why would he have a picture of himself on his boombox? Who knows? But yeah, this is kind of cool. And as always, we have the Mezco Stand that has the cutting edge technology that allows you to scratch it just by looking at it. As you can see, I just took this thing out of the packaging and it's already all scuffed up. I don't know what they used for this, but it's just ridiculous. Luckily, most of it is covered up by the Mezco head design, so, you know, it doesn't look too beat up. But yeah, I literally just took this out of the box, barely even touched it. And it's just all scuffed up. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so all the accessories that we've looked at so far are really cool, but they're basically just repainted versions of the accessories that came with this Gomez. And that's cool because they made them different colors and they made them interesting and exciting and stuff like that. But the thing that's most exciting about this Gomez figure is the new accessories that he came with. So let's take a look at those things, starting off with this awesome looking jacket. Check that out. This thing is super dope. And I have like several jackets just like this. So right away I was like, oh man, this thing's awesome. And it's very well done. It has some cool stitching on there. You have some drawstrings for the hood, so you can tighten if you want, but I'd suggest being very careful with that. And then the hood does have like a bendy wire in it, so you can manipulate it a little bit. And that is really cool. You're able to bring the hood back and it sits down very nicely. And check out the inside of this jacket. They went above and beyond with this one. This jacket is nicer than a lot of clothes that Mezco makes. Look at that. That's super dope. They use like a different material on the inside than they did on the outside. But yeah, that's awesome. Really cool. I like this jacket a lot. And what's really dope about it is you could pull off his hand and stick his little peg into the open little flap there, and you can make it look like his hand is in his pocket. And it's not like an actual real pocket, so you can't stick one of his hands in there, but you could definitely sell the image of this weird Gomez character with his hands in his pocket, so that's cool. But yeah, this jacket is super dope, and this is probably my favorite look for this Gomez figure. This jacket, this head, and also I like to throw on this other thing, which is unique to this Gomez, and that's the backpack. And actually, this backpack and hoverboard actually might come with the version of Agent Gomez that's currently shipping from Mezco.com. I can't remember what that one's called, but it's the one that comes with the comic book and everything. I believe that he comes with these two accessories too. And he also comes with this other thing, which is the scarf. And we'll take a closer look at each one of these things individually, starting off with the hoverboard. And this thing is just incredible. I love the sculpting on it. It definitely has a Back to the Future vibe to it. Check that out. That is super cool. And I love the colors on here. And the colors match the colors of the canister. So that's super dope too. And check that out. Check out the sculpting work. And obviously, he does have magnets in his feet. And there are magnets in the hoverboard. So that just goes right on there without any problem. And it stays on there pretty good. I mean, if you shake it enough, it'll fall. But, you know, you have to really try to make that happen. If you're just messing with it naturally like that, it's not going to go anywhere. If you're going to run around your house, I think it'll be all right. But look at that. That's cool. That's super dope, actually. I like that a lot. And then the other thing that's really cool is this backpack. And check this out. You could open this up, store your hoverboard in there. Bam, look at that. And then you also have some other little, oh, nope, that doesn't open. So be careful there. That's just a string. Let's see, maybe up here too. Yeah, just a string. So those things can't open. It's a little disappointing. It would have been nice to be able to put like his weapons in there or something. It looks like maybe you could put his sword on the side if you want, you know, even though he has a sword sheath, so it doesn't make much sense. But it does go all the way through if that's something you want to do. And let's see what else we got going on with this thing. Does this open? Yeah, this opens up, and then there's a piece of styrofoam in there to make it look like his backpack is stuffed. But the one thing that I love about this backpack is check out the straps here. It actually, you're able to tie in it if you want, but you don't actually know you can't tie in it because there's a string there. Okay, well that's okay because it gives the illusion that you could tie in it because it has an actual little buckle thing there. But it's like stretchy bands, so there's no problem getting it onto the figure itself. And it stays on there securely. So I really, really like this backpack. Especially because of those little stretchy bands. And it just makes it easier to deal with. You don't actually have to tighten it. I thought that was an option, but I'm okay that it's not an option. And look at that. That's cool. Look at that. That's super cool. And that's probably my favorite look for this Gomez figure. And the other cool thing he comes with is a scarf. And this scarf is very nice too. It has like a bendy wire in it so you can manipulate it. You can make it look like it's blowing in the wind. Especially when he's on his hovercraft here. You can wrap that around there and just do some really cool stuff, you know. And another really cool, nice thing about this scarf is that if you want to do head swaps with Gomez but you don't want to change out that neck, then the scarf could definitely hide that. And as an example here, I have the Marvel Select Peter Parker head, and you could throw that on there, and look at that, you have like an almost perfect Peter Parker. And this head doesn't really stay onto this neck here, but you can make it work. Look at that. That looks awesome. I'll do a couple more head swaps in a second here, but yeah, with the scarf and everything, that looks cool. That works out good, like a wintertime Peter Parker. There we go. All we need is a camera and we're good to go. Okay, so now I just want to show you guys a couple of head swap possibilities. It's really tough because of the texture of the neck. It has that Gomez insect type of look, so you have to get pretty creative with the posing in order to hide that. But we do have some pretty cool possibilities here. Let's start off with Doctor Strange. And this head looks like it does not pop on, but still it does look pretty cool. And again, you do have the scarf, so you always have the option to put the scarf on to hide his crazy neck, or you could just take that neck out and replace it with a different neck. But yeah, check that out. I think that works out pretty good. Next up, we have a Marvel Legends Steve Rogers head. And it looks like Marvel Legends heads are just a little too small because the neck is too big. So if you want to put on Marvel Legends heads onto this body, you definitely have to replace the neck because it's just too big and the heads won't kind of slip over it, you know. Same thing goes with the comic stuff. I have Professor X here and the head is just too small. It won't drop down. And then let's see what we have next. So I have the Mezco Punisher, and that looks kind of awesome too, but it's a little big, but still you could probably make something work there. And then here we have the Marvel Select Peter Parker, and this looks really cool, especially if you throw the scarf on there. And if you could find a way to hide the neck, this works as like a perfect Peter Parker in my opinion. It might work a little bit better with the green jacket, but then you'd have a harder time hiding that neck. And let's see what else we have. We have Matt Murdock, the Mezco Daredevil unmasked head. And once again, that neck is just too big here. It's almost like the same size as a Marvel Legends head. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And next up we have Superman. Kind of looks cool too. And then next up we have the blade head, and I like the way that looks a lot. Still, man, yeah, I really wish they'd release something to make this neck interchangeable. There'd be so many possibilities, but then they'd have to give like different skin tones. But you know, I think that's possible. But anyways, you could do some cool stuff here with that. And then here's where you could get kind of crazy. You could throw the Moon Knight head on there, and then it doesn't really matter if he has that crazy neck texture, because then it just kind of looks like a guy in disguise. And I like that. That looks really cool. But it pops on, but it's a little loose, but it'll stay there, so that's good. And then last but not least, we have the Black Suit Spider-Man head, and that actually pops on and stays on there tight with no problems. And I think this looks awesome. This looks like a really fun figure to mess around with, just like this. You do some really cool stuff. It could be like a weird Spider-Man villain, you know, or like a weird Spider-Man copycat. But yeah, I think that's really cool, and that could really make for some interesting poses. But yeah, there's definitely some possibilities here, so that's always fun. And for some size comparisons, here's Gomez alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then now here we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Moon Knight and the Mezco 112 Collective Black Suit Spider-Man. Now here we have him next to the Mezco 112 Collective Sovereign Knight Batman and the Mezco 112 Collective Michael Myers. Next, we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Popeye and the Mezco 112 Collective Agent Gomez. Next up, we have him alongside the DC Icons Green Lantern and the SH Figure Arts Michelangelo. And the articulation on this guy is really good. Thankfully, they did not use the Joker body. They went with the body that's more similar to the Spider-Man Mezco figures and the Mezco Diabolic figure. And I think all of those have really good articulation, and it works really good for Gomez. So let's get into it here. His head is able to move side to side. You have movement where the neck meets the torso and where the neck meets the head. So that's a really good type of joint, because you could go side to side. You get a lot of tilt. You could look up to right there. You could look down to right there. And this kind of neck and head setup is just really good to get really expressive poses and a lot of attitude out of your figures. So it's really cool. I like that a lot. And then for the torso, this has got to be one of the best like torso joints on a Mezco figure, because check out how much crunch he could get. Look at that. That's really good. And right here, he is using the mid-torso cut and the waist cut. That's pretty much the standard Mezco torso setup, but it works really good on Gomez. It seems to work better than it has on figures in the past. So check that out. You could get him to go to the side like that. You could get him to lean back to about right there. And let's just do this ab crunch one more time. Let's see how far it'll go. Look at that. That's really good. Really good ab crunch on this figure, and then you get some twists from the waist and the mid-torso joint there. So that's really good articulation. And then for his arms, he does have ball jointed shoulders, and this type of material fits very nicely onto the figure, but it still doesn't restrict any of the movement. As you can see, I could get his arm all the way up, and I don't even have to worry about the material getting damaged. Same thing going this way. So really good stuff. And then you have the upper bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows, which are really nice. Look at that. So that's really good stuff. You have a ball joint at the wrist that allows for some swivel and a hinge. So really good stuff there. His legs are able to come out to the side. Can he do the splits? Yeah, just about. He could do the splits, but it gets a little tight because of his jeans. But they do come out to the side to right there. They could come forward to right there. You could bring them back a little. Not too much, but you know, it's fine. And then you have a upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and his knees are pretty good, but the material does get bunched up a little bit there. But they do have a nice bend to them. And then for his feet, you get some side to side movement, but not much, because oh no, I thought these went up a little. I thought his shoes went up a little higher, but they don't. So, you know, he gets some pretty good rocking back and forth on the feet. And then you could bring them forward to about right there, bring them up to right there, and then you have swivel. So yeah, as I said, he has really good articulation, and you could really get him into a lot of really fun poses. Okay, so overall, even though I wasn't crazy excited about this figure as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I'm very impressed with it. It's a lot of fun, and as soon as I took it out of the box, I really just fell in love with it, and I haven't been able to put it down since because he's just so much fun. There's a lot of good things going on with him, a lot of fun interchangeable parts. You know, I love this skull look right here. And there's just so many customizing possibilities here, and there's so many things you could do with this figure to integrate it into your collection, even if you don't have any need for a toy company mascot. You know, you could just use this as like a civilian, a Peter Parker, or just like a casual version of a normal hero or whatever. Or you could just use it as a goon to fight your heroes, you know. So it's just a really cool figure, a lot of good accessories, very well done soft goods, and really good articulation. So really, what's not to like, you know? They did a really good job with it. This is a really good figure, and I'm really happy to have it. And in fact, I want to try to find a way to get a couple more because there's, you know, there's so much things you could do with it. And it's really cool that Mezco came up with this whole idea of Gomez, and I really hope that they continue to put out the comic books. I know that they've only put out one. I don't know if they have any plans to put any more, but I think it'd be wise of them to try to expand on his story and just make it an actual character that people would care about rather than just a mascot for a company. But you know, I have no idea if that comic book is good. Please let me know in the comments if you've read it and if you enjoyed it, because I'm really curious. You know, it seems like they could get really fun with this idea of this crazy like insect on a hoverboard with a green sword and just all kinds of weird stuff. You know, they could get pretty crazy with it. But I really hope that they expand on that. And it seems like they're gonna keep giving us different versions of the Gomez figure, because so far we have this street edition, which is really nice. We have the agent version, which is awesome, and then they also have some type of overseas convention exclusive, which is Gomez as like a ninja, and there's two different versions of that. So that's awesome. And I don't know if they have plans to release that to everybody, but I really hope that they do, because it looks like it has some really cool accessories and it looks like a really fun figure. But anyways, I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching.
And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up.
Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.
Thumbs up.